Want more Buckley but don't want to pay for it? Follow me on Twitch for my occasional live streams, or follow me on Facebook or Twitter and see my dumb little jokes before they go viral on Imgur. Links are in the description. Listen, if it seems like I've been hard on the right over the last little while, it's not because I hate you or I'm some sort of filthy leftist. It's because I think you can be better. I made fun of the left overreacting to dumb shit for years, even in the last 12 months. Billboards with villains choking superheroes. People mad that a Lou Reed song was problematic like 30 years later. A group of women who couldn't read getting upset over a cup. Demi Lovato's horrible Commander-in-Chief song. BLM trying to make someone else's cause about them. LGBTQ members getting mad that people aren't gay enough. Feminists getting mad that other feminists aren't feminist enough. So I get a little annoyed at the whiny whataboutism shit that happens in my comments section every time I comment on the other side. Like, oh yeah, you talked about the Capitol riots, but you're pretty quiet about BLM. Motherfuckers, I've talked about them twice. I make fun of people who overreact and spread lies and hyperbole. I don't give a shit what side they're on. So, March started as a rough month for people on cancel culture watch, because in case you didn't hear, the left is canceling Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss. Let's start with Mr. Potato Head. Now, this doesn't help. The Associated Press, which is supposed to be a relatively neutral news source, tweeted this. Mr. Potato Head is no longer a Mr. Hasbro, the company that makes the potato-shaped plastic toy, is giving the spud a gender-neutral new name, Potato Head. The change will appear on boxes this year. This tweet included a link to an article titled, Mr. Potato Head drops the Mr. Sort of. Now, if you get all your news from headlines and tweets, that's a huge problem, but that is how many people absorb their news now. No further reading, that's everything I need to know. Also, I thought the right didn't trust the mainstream media, but they did here, because here are the reactions to that. I'm saddened. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head were family values iconography. Hasbro making them transgender is why we're suffering from karmic chaos. They didn't make them transgender, but whatever. Just another attack on Americana. Liberals are ruining this country. Stupid liberals, not letting me pretend my potato has a cock. They're ruining this country. Some right-wing blue checkmark goofball named Mark Dice said, it's time for Republican states to secede over a potato toy. Yup, that got nearly 8,000 likes. I see a lot of people being totally dismissive of the Mr. Potato Head news. This was a potato dude who had a potato wife and little potato babies, whom the woke crowd just erased from existence because they could not sit idly by while society bestowed gender on inanimate food for fun. Who is crazier? The people who object to the erasure of Mr. Potato Head's masculinity as a representation of traditional family values, or the people so obsessed with their own sense of victimhood that they had to project their gender issues onto a child's toy? Who's crazier? I don't know. Probably the one who saw Mr. Potato Head, a plastic toy where you could put his nose where his mouth goes and his eyes where his nose goes, as a masculine figure of family values. You see, these people believe this was another calculated attack by the left to take away your right to, I don't know, gender a plastic potato? Now, are you ready to read the actual press release that none of these people read? Here, I'll even read it for you. Hasbro is officially renaming the Mr. Potato Head brand to Potato Head to better reflect the full line. But rest assured, the iconic Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head characters aren't going anywhere, and will remain Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. It then talks about the Potato Head family box coming out that will include 2 large potato bodies, 1 small potato body, and a whole bunch of shit to slap on them. So, they're not getting rid of anything, and no one fucking came to cancel Mr. Potato Head. This decision was corporate, because they believed it might get them in the news and sell more of these things. Because who the fuck has even thought about Mr. Potato Head in 10, 15 years? No one! Kids don't give a fuck about Mr. Potato Head. They play Xbox and put stupid shit on their own face with apps. Now, Hasbro's made changes before to reflect the times. In 1987, they got rid of his pipe. And in 1992, they stopped calling him a couch potato in his backstory. Apparently, he has a backstory that's not an abomination who grew from the ground with eyes and a mouth, but they changed it so kids who played with him wouldn't think it's okay to be lazy. I wonder if in 1987, a bunch of fucking goobers down at their local coffee shop went, "Look what they're doing to these kids. They coddle them by taking away Mr. Potato Head's pipe. This is probably that Michael Dukakis is doing." But anyway, the left didn't come for it. They didn't cancel Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, okay, but what about how they banned Dr. Seuss? Let me share a poem with you that some other fucker wrote in defense of 45 to 84-year-old books. They canceled your feelings. They canceled your thoughts. They canceled the Dr. Seuss books that you bought. We'll cancel your culture and history, they said. They even canceled poor Mr. Potato Head. They'll cancel your clothes and the shoes that you wear. They'll cancel your opinions and the style of your hair. You warriors of justice, I ask you to please stop trying to cancel the air that I breathe. For I live in America, the land of the free. And one thing is certain, you won't cancel me. Ooh, this is in response to the fact that 6 Dr. Seuss books have been discontinued due to some content concerns, including a book Dr. Seuss himself once changed in the 70s because it said Chinaman and featured a guy with yellow skin. Now I get it. I'd be upset too if they took the only books off the market that were at my reading level. But again, it's about they. They, the evil left, the boogeyman hiding in your kid's closet, waiting for them to fall asleep, to then grab all their toys and books and take them to the incinerator. This isn't happening. It's not illegal to own those books. It's not illegal to buy them. Nor is it a slippery slope to people having their hair, clothes, or shoes canceled. Whatever that even means. No one's coming to take away your mullets and your The Man, the Legend shirts. You can have them. But this fear-mongering is what idiots do to rile everyone up and make it us versus them. This bullshit tribalism. Now, you ready for the truth? Probably not, but here it goes. Last year, Dr. Seuss Enterprises decided to do an internal investigation of its own work. Dr. Seuss Enterprises, working with a panel of experts, including educators, reviewed our catalog of titles and made the decision last year to cease publication and licensing of the following titles. They then list 6 books, only 2 of which I've ever even heard of, and I grew up on Dr. Seuss. Oh man, they're gonna stop publishing On Beyond Zebra? How will we live? Books go out of print for various reasons all the time. Nothing stays in print forever, either because sales are so low it's not worth printing, or because the author no longer likes the work in the case of Stephen King's Rage, or for who knows what reason, like The Short Timers, a book I've always wanted to own a copy of, but have never been able to get because it's been out of print for so long, and copies on Amazon are like $150 for beat-up paperbacks. No longer printing Rage is not censorship. And if Seuss Enterprises, who made this decision last year, but you didn't even know about it until they announced it recently, had stopped printing those books without the announcement, you wouldn't have even fucking known or cared. And you wouldn't have screamed, "Is there anything the left won't destroy?" like Donald Jr. did. The left is not trying to cancel Dr. Seuss. Yeah, they are. What about that school that pulled them all from the library? You mean the school district in Virginia who just decided not to make Dr. Seuss the focal point of Read Across America Day, for the last 4 years by the way, but still has all of the books available to kids who do want to check them out? This ain't Fahrenheit 451. No one's taking them out back and burning them, and no one's calling for that. There are still over 50 Dr. Seuss books being printed, including The Cat in the Hat, Green Eggs and Ham, The Grinch, Horton Hears a Who, all of the actual popular ones that people actually buy for their kids. Not McElligot's Pool, which probably sold more copies to reactionary idiots this month than it has in 30 years combined. But eBay banned the sale of them. This is apparently true, though if you get creative with your search, people are still selling copies with the names misspelled or the words rearranged. I think it's kind of stupid that they're putting any effort into blocking the sale of these books, but again, this was a private company making a reactionary decision. No one petitioned or pressured eBay to ban the sale of these items. Now, once again, for the slow kids in the back of the class, I think they should allow the sale of these books. Let morons spend hundreds of dollars on a book that they printed millions of copies of over the last 50 years. But it's always funny how some people are so quick to go, a private business should be allowed to do whatever they want, when, say, a bakery refuses to make a cake for a gay wedding. But when they won't let people sell a book, it's, but our freedoms are being taken away. You already didn't have any freedom on eBay anyway. You can't sell guns, used makeup sponges, used urns, your own kidney, or for that matter, other people's kidneys either. But I thought this was America! But no. All of this, it's a business tactic, and you're mad at the wrong people. You got fucking played like the crying fiddles you all are. The left sees these announcements and goes, wow, what responsible companies who care about getting with the times. I should buy my kids a potato head toy and some Dr. Seuss books. And the right goes, they're canceling Dr. Seuss and Mr. Potato Head. Quick, we gotta get to Walmart and buy everything they have and stockpile it. Only we can possibly preserve history. And either way, they got your money. That's what it's all about. Money and manipulation. But the left didn't come for any of these things. There was no public outcry that started this. These companies saw an opportunity to take advantage of modern trends, and they did, and you fell for it. Dr. Seuss and Hasbro haven't seen this much free advertising ever. You were the proverbial baby not playing with their ball, and when they, the companies, said they were going to take your ball away, you cried and grabbed for it. And all of this because all you can read is headlines and tweets. You know, it is too bad that Dr. Seuss isn't alive today. He could write a book to teach children not to simply read a headline on social media and form an entire opinion of hate around people they've made up in their mind who are coming to take away everything they loved. Could call it, but I think that I read it on Twitter last week.